Well, we'll discuss now how can you solve an exercise using the solver function. This exercise is a linear programming exercise, and what the purpose is to is a factory that has like different products, solvent and fuel, and those products require different raw materials, 1, 2 and 3, in different proportions. This is how much raw material 1 you need for 1 ton of fuel, and so on. And the next thing is how what is your profitability. In this case, how much money you make per ton of fuel and per ton of solvents. And the last piece of information is that you have certain restrictions in raw materials, so you have limited amount of raw materials. So this is how much raw material 1, 2 and 3 do you have. And based on this, you have to create the equations. Here, this equation basically it tells you how much raw material 1 do you need per unit of fuel and per unit of a solvent, and the same is for the rest of the raw materials. And finally, you have the profitability, which is quite simple. The profits obviously depends on the profitability per unit of final product times the total final products. So all the issue here, the goal is to define, okay, which is the ideal amount of fuel and solvent in order to maximize your profits, considering the constraints that you have. So this is the purpose of the exercise. So based on this, you have to fill the function solver, which is relatively straightforward because basically is to copy the equations into the function. So what you have to do is you go to data, click on solver, and what you have to do here is just to fill the information that solver is asking you. For example, first is F16 is the total profits. So all you have to do is tell the solver that this equation, that this cell is you find there the function for the total profitability. Then this is the variables that you need to change. B16, C16 is here, so the total precisely how much fuel and solvent you need to produce ideally. So this is what the equation, what solver is going to solve for you. And finally, you have to put here the restrictions, and the restrictions are basically that you have a limited amount. This is in this area here. Let me well, I cannot do it now, but in this area here, what are the restrictions? So you have a limited amount of material 1, 2 and 3, and once you all you have to do is to tell the system where is that information, and based on that then you click on solve, and you see I'm sorry, you have to click on solve. I'm sorry, I broke the equation accidentally. I have to click here. So you have to click on solve, and the you see here how do you get the solution. This is the solution. This is the ideal amount of fuel and solvent that you have to produce, and this is the maximum profitability that you can get. Okay, so this is the solution using solver. You see that the whole secret is how do you put all the information in the Excel spreadsheet, and based on this the solver function tells you how much material you have to how much is the total amount of fuel and solvent, and based on this what is the top profitability.